Yuko mentioned, right?
Traveler, Paimon.
Mizuki! That was quick.
All thanks to you two. With what I learned from those two guys, I managed to give Murasaki and Shion effective treatment as soon as I got back. That meant I was free to head out again as soon as I received your message. So, this is where Emura Ichigensai lives.
Sure hope so, 'cause this is our only lead. Wait, do you guys smell that too? Some kind of fragrance. Seems like it's coming from inside.
Then that confirms it. We've come to the right place. Now we may face great danger once we're inside. So from here on out, stay close to me and stay focused. I don't want either of you getting hurt.
We'll be fine. You just focus on what you need to do.
All right, fine. I suppose you're used to leading the charge.
Just sharpen my spear. Whoa. This is not what Paimon was expecting. This is creepy. Feels like there are loads of eyes staring at us.
Calm, yet repressed. The signs are all there.
What is it, Mizuki? Figured something out?
Nothing new. Just further confirmation of my suspicions. Emura Ichigensai should be hiding deep inside this place. Stay close to me.
Sweet dreams!
He set up an ambush?
Seems like we're not welcome here. Turn that frown upside down.
Miss Yumemizuki, you found me at last. Ah, and I see you've brought some friends with you. Please, forgive my lack of hospitality.
Emura Chuya. So it is you.
Mizuki was right after all. Paimon wasn't expecting him to be so polite, though.
Please, do not call me by that name anymore. The old me was plagued by negative emotions, but I have parted ways with them now. That period of my life is consigned to the past, and the name along with it.
You have to listen to me. There is no way to get rid of all your negative emotions. This life you're living now is a lie.
Your perspective is most amusing.
What's so funny? Don't you know you're harming people?
Harming people? That's what you believe? Very well. I understand and accept your perspective, even if you cannot afford me the same courtesy in return.
Ugh, what is up with him. He's being so calm and polite. So why does everything he says make Paimon want to punch him?
As you can see, Miss Yumemizuki, all my psychological problems have been completely resolved. I must thank you for your attempts to diagnose my condition, but I see now that the truth is far simpler than you were proposing. All my misery was merely a consequence of human frailty. I could not hope to remove my emotional impurities on my own strength. I lived in fear and anger. Fear that I was not worthy of other people's attention. Anger at how they invalidated me. I became a slave to my emotions. They turned me into a wretched and loathsome creature, hostile to everyone. But things are different now. I've acquired the ability to eradicate those emotions for good. No longer will I be afraid. Never again will I be stirred to anger. No, I am filled now with only one emotion, and that is happiness. I have become humanity perfected.
What I'm hearing is that you've developed your own unique understanding of psychological issues. So how about you play therapist this time? I have a couple of cases I'd love to hear your thoughts on.
I would be delighted.
The first is a soldier with poor control of his temper. He flies off the handle too easily, and it gets him into all sorts of trouble. This is having a significant impact on his daily life, and he's developed symptoms of depression as a result.
He simply needs to let go of his anger. Then he will surely find peace and happiness.
The second is a fisherman who's developed thalassophobia. Now he is unable to provide for his family, which is causing him immense anxiety.
Oh, of course. He must cast his fear far away and forget it ever existed. Then he can return to the sea at once.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're wrong on both counts.
Oh?
The soldier's anger is rooted in his strongly held principles. Yes, his rage can make him reckless, but it also fuels his deep desire to stand against injustice. Losing his anger made him passive and apathetic. He now stands by and does nothing as bandits attack innocent people. The fisherman's fear made him one of the most reliable sailors around. Thanks to his cautiousness and diligence, accidents were a rare occurrence among his crew despite the dangers of their profession. But after forgetting his fear, he destroyed the fruits of the entire crew's labor on his first return to the sea. Fascinating, isn't it? Anger gives people the courage to stand up for what they believe in, and fear nurtures care and attention. Emotions are integral to human dreams, and after many years of dealing with their dreams, the Yumekoi Baku have learned an important secret about human emotions. Negative emotions do not just go away. They will always be there. This is true for everyone. Not only that, but their presence is essential. You can't have a healthy human psyche without negative emotion. So do you have any idea what you've done to those poor men?
What an amusing theory. In fact, I do remember those two. But I'm afraid that the only emotion I sense in them now is happiness. How can you believe that negative emotions are required for a healthy psyche? It's a laughable theory. Don't you remember how I was when we first met? You call that healthy?
Acknowledging that negative emotions exist doesn't mean giving them free rein over our minds and lives. Humans have a whole gamut of emotions. They're supposed to keep each other in balance. But if that balance gets disrupted, emotions start working against each other. Untethered rage cripples the capacity to be careful and considerate. Uncontained fear drives people to abandon beliefs they once held dear. The person you were when you first came to my practice only proves this further. You were dominated by your emotions. Under their influence, you deliberately inflicted pain on other people. Meanwhile, the person you are now is so lost that you aren't even aware of the pain you're bringing to others. This diagnosis is going to sound harsh, but I'm afraid it's accurate. You've simply gone from one extreme to another. You say you've reached perfection, but you're just as dysfunctional now as where you started.
Phew. How entertaining. Still, there's no need for me to argue back. You have failed to provoke me. I will forgive you for this offense, because I know my present perfection to be a fact. I have direct and incontrovertible evidence. You once told me that nightmares are the result of a buildup of negative emotions. But ever since I acquired my present abilities, I never had another nightmare again. Clearly, that proves that all of my negative emotions have been definitively eradicated.
I'm afraid not. Look where we are right now. We're inside your nightmare.
What?
No wonder! Paimon knew something was up the moment we arrived!
The enemies that we encountered were manifestations of his negative emotions. That can only happen in a nightmare.
No, that can't be.
That entity claimed it could remove your negative emotions, but all it did was separate them and store them deep in your subconscious, beyond your reach. There, they were left to fester. Your situation is far worse than that of the other victims. It has deceived you at a much deeper level. You can't even perceive that at this very moment, you're in the middle of a nightmare.
How laughable. Fear? No. There is no fear left in me. This is all just a terrible joke. This is no dream. No.
Something's appeared behind him.
So, my arch-nemesis has seen through my trickery. Clearly, you came prepared. The emotional cocoon I'd wrapped him in was all but impenetrable. Yet still, you managed to tear it down.
So it is you. Just as I thought.
What is that?
A nightmare monster. A fearsome yokai that was once the bane of Inazuma. We Yumemizuki Baku eat the nightmares of humans, while they called those nightmares their home. So we were natural enemies. When I heard the traveler recount that strange dream, I knew that this was a possibility. But it's still a shock to see one of our long-lost arch-enemies in the flesh. They were supposed to have gone extinct long ago.
Then allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kurayume, and I am the last of my kind.
Kurayume. That's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. How have you survived all these years?
Likewise, Yumemizuki is a name that takes me back to a different age. Although I must say, we may be born enemies, but I have never felt any great animosity toward you personally. Ultimately, the fall of the nightmare monsters was the fault of our hosts. Humans are such fragile creatures. But now, I have found a way to revive my kind, and you are too late to stop me.
Oh no! We've got to catch up to him!